Long ago, powerful beings fought a desperate civil war across the galaxy. The noble Arnor and the evil Dreadlords fought to within inches of final victory for the Dreadlords. And then suddenly, they vanished. Their departure opened the door to the younger civilizations to make their way into the galaxy, but their progress was slow, for their ability to move great distances was limited by the Stargates. The Stargates could only send ships between any two of them. The rise of the youngest race, humanity, on Earth in the 22nd century led to a discovery that would shatter the interstellar balance: hyperdrive. With this technology, ships could travel great distances on their own. Now, the younger races have found themselves in a race to explore, expand, colonize, and ultimately conquer the galaxy. But as they will soon learn, there are far worse things in the universe than each other.
Oh shit! What's up, boys? Welcome back to another late night here on the East Coast. That's Gal Civ's 2 intro. I just want everyone to see it because, again, I really enjoy the story to galactic civilizations. When it comes to video game lore, I feel like it's pretty good. You know what I mean? And the way I sort of weight lore in general, right? You know, 0 with the tiddly farts. The weird numbers here. Anyway, let's just turn that down so it's not deafening. The thing is, like, is there better written lore out there? Sure, yeah. But the Galactic Civilizations canon, if you will, feels very fitting. It's very atmospheric, and you get caught up into it during the game itself. A lot of the stuff comes through, which is excellent. Some games have very well written stories, but it doesn't translate into the gameplay itself. If you understand what I mean by that. But yeah, let's we're not doing a new game here, exactly. We're just looking at what Gal Civ 2 was like. You can see already it's a huge difference. New game starts you with creating the galaxy instead of the character, or like, you know, picking the races and stuff. But that's okay. So the only guys we're missing, I kind of want to show you what they look like too. So Corks isn't in, as far as I know. I'm wondering if these guys are supposed to be the Iridium. I forget what they're called, the Iridium Council or whatever. They have very similar abilities, and they look kind of similar, although the Iridium Council, as Bard will put it, are the double butt heads. I don't know. I really don't. These are the Drath. They're not in our current one. The Thalons, they're pretty cool guys. These guys here are the Iconians. We've seen them. But yeah, obviously the graphics in the new one are a lot better. The art design here, I mean, the Kryn look just amazing in the new one, and kind of weird in this, although the weird nose hair coming out their noses, it's pretty good, it's pretty good. And of course, my favorite, the Yor, have come a very long way. So, that's excellent. And Altarians went from being literally just humans with tattoos to, hey, all of a sudden we're not. But anyway, what I really wanted to show you from Gal Civ 2 is not just sort of the difference graphically and aesthetically. I wanted to show you politics. Now, this is something that is missing from Gal Civ 3. I really liked, and I would like to see brought back. Now, I don't know if everyone's with me, but of course, right now, there's fans saying, like, blur, 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 Gal Civ 3, it's not as good as 2. That's ridiculous. On release, I would have said yes, but now it's pretty much on par. That said, a lot of times, we're dealing with a hardcore crowd of people, you know what I mean? Whenever you're dealing with a very deep-rooted fan base, especially one dealing with strategy games, I find it's worse. The hardcore gamers, if you will. And when I say hardcore, I mean actually hardcore, not someone that plays a lot of games. And I also don't mean someone that plays, same game a lot, but isn't extremely good at it. When I say hardcore, I mean, almost professional level. But the thing is, with strategy games, there isn't really a professional level for the 4X genre. But you know what I mean. And unfortunately, that is a large majority of the 4X fan base because they're so difficult and they're so hard to get into, much less be proficient at, that a lot of the people that enjoy them are just extremely good at them. So it's very hard to sway these people, especially the new stuff. So I think a lot of what it is right now is there's things that are different and they don't like it, and that's okay. I certainly didn't like Civ 5 when it came out. I didn't like it until Brave New World. Before that, I was like, oh, I'll just play Civ 4, thank you very much. And that's okay, you know what I mean? I still don't think that Beyond Earth is good at all. There's a new expansion. I think maybe one more expansion might get it a little bit further in the direction of being a good game, but we all know that expansion's not going to come because Civ 6 is announced and they don't care about it anymore. But that's the thing. And a lot of things, hindsight is 20/20 is a very good expression. And a lot of the things that people don't think about is a lot of these 4X games, because they're so grand in scope, aren't amazing when they come out. Gal Civ 2, unfortunately, same sort of issue. It wasn't as crazy good as it is now when it came out. StarCraft, it was okay. Really good story. Multiplayer is kind of, many balance patches later. The expansion later. Oh, Brood War. Now the game's amazing. I still enjoyed StarCraft a lot for the single player, though, and that's just me. But anyway, here we are. This is one thing that they have taken out of the game. Now, there's still super abilities, or the special ability. Humans in this begin with Super Diplomat. There's still these in Gal Civ 3. The difference is everybody gets 2 instead of 1. And they're not quite as strong. Which I kind of like, you know what I mean? Having a super powerful bonus is awesome. But the problem with having a super powerful bonus, it's very hard to balance that. It's much like, say we look at League of Legends, for example. It's a very popular game. A lot of people know what I'm talking about. If you look at Flash, it doesn't matter how much they nerf Flash. As long as it's in the game, it's always going to be extremely powerful because of what it is. And it's very hard to make a super special, powerful racial ability that isn't mandatory, if you know what I mean. Look at World of Warcraft. Back in the day, PvP, World of Warcraft, it was at the point, right, where most people wanted to play Undead for PvP. Because a lot of other racial bonuses were kind of but Undead was pretty good. It could get you out of a lot of stuff. It essentially cleared half the CC in the game. Just one of their racial abilities. Gnomes, they also had an interesting racial ability where they could get out of snares, which helped them in a few situations. It was pretty good. However, around the time of Burning Crusade, they added they changed humans' racial ability to basically be a free PvP trinket. It would get you out of any CC, and it had a Jack Dick cooldown. And then that's what I'm talking about here. The thing is, well, at that point you have to play human if you're looking in any form of competitive PvP, if you will. And you can argue about how competitive World of Warcraft's PvP is. That's another argument. The point is, people want to play things to the best of their ability. They want to min-max. You have to take that one. And in this game, Super Diplomat is that, in my opinion. Yeah. But the thing is, when you only have one very, very powerful ability, it's super easy to go, oh, I need that one. When you have two, you can at least feel a little bit more like, oh, I can customize a bit. So I like the change they done in Gal Civ. Also, the menu here, Gal Civ 3 menu is a lot better. I really like that. But this thing is missing from Gal Civ 3, and that makes me sad. I really like it, and I was looking for it. Super Dominator. Hey, Harpy, how you doing? The thing is, the political party system was super cool in my opinion in Gal Civ 2, and how it works is this. I normally pick technologist actually, but you pick your political party. So say we go, oh, I don't know, industrialist. This is a pretty good one right here. So I get plus 20 social production, plus 20 military production, minus 25 espionage. Espionage isn't really a big thing in Gal Civ 2. But in a lot of other 4X games, espionage is sort of one of those, it's in the game and you just kind of use it, but you don't really give a crap. A very good example is Master of Orion 2 being one of the first ones to do this. You just build up a bunch of spies, and sometimes you put them on other people to get techs, but you really don't care. It's sort of an autopilot kind of thing. Similar feel. In Gal Civ 2, espionage isn't really a big deal. Espionage in Gal Civ 3 is, as far as I know, non-existent, and that's okay. It would be nice for them to add that in the next expansion. We'll see. But political parties I really like because... So let's look at someone that doesn't have the espionage malice, shall we? Oh, they all do, actually. That's interesting. They all have minus 25 espionage. Huh. Alright. Is that just because I'm playing humans? Maybe. Hang on. So what if I change this to Iconians? Nope. Alright. Well, there you go. That's kind of weird to me. Not sure why that is, but that's okay. Either way. But let's just look here at the, well, let's stay over here. So we got our 20 social production, our 20 military production, and minus 25 espionage. So it's cool. It's just it's another way to customize your race, right? You pick this and you're like, oh, I'm getting extra production. However, how it works is, when we get in the game, actually, let's go ahead and do that. Play as the Terrans. I will pick my political party. I want to be technologist. I don't really care about all that. Ah, crashed. Wow. There you go. Whoopsies. Gal Civ 2 is a bit of an older game, so happens. I think it came out in, I want to say 2008 or something like that. 2000. No, that might be. Came out 2006, so there you go. Which you can argue that's only 10 years old, but these kind of games, you know, they tend to be a little bit buggy and crash prone because of how big they are. Let's keep the default. Oh, it is technologist. Nope, it just crashed. Weird. Could be because I'm using game capture. It might not have its DirectX plugins set up right, because obviously OBS is a very new thing. This whole Direct 3D. I'm going to turn off video capture for a second, see if I can load in the game, and then turn it back on. No, I can't. Alright, well, the point is how it would work, essentially, is your political party has a certain amount of power, and you can might be able to load a game, maybe. Hey, there you go. It's probably just because I'm using OBS, and something about the way OBS is interacting with Gal Civ 2 is causing it to crash when I try and create a new galaxy. Not sure why that is. Oh, I love this theme. So powerful. I really hope that this, with the vocals, is in Gal Civ 3. The soundtrack for it anyway. Okay, so just ignore all this crap. I'm playing as the Drath for some reason. I don't normally do that, but I almost never do that actually. But that's where it is. Anyway, let's go look into my civilization manager. So right here, right now we're an imperial government. You know, I like government things in games. I find that cool. So political party, plus 20 research, plus 1 sensor. When our political party is in charge, we have a majority of seats, we get this bonus. If they're not in charge, if they lose in an election, we don't get any bonus. So that's really cool. So you pick your political party, and you're just like, oh, I really want to get this research bonus. And then, I don't know if I can bring up the voting without, no, I think I can only bring up voting when that actually comes. But say I want to change government, right? Oh, perfect, this is what it would look like. Here are the seats right now. So right now, 100% of the seats are technologist. If I try and declare war right now, for example, I have 100%, no problem. However, later in the game, these seats are going to start getting divided among other people. Now, hopefully, if we keep doing things good, we'll keep the technologists in power. And there's a lot of ways you can try and get that. Do you know what I mean? Changing to another type of government, especially democracy, will increase the spread and make it harder for you to keep the technologists in power. And if you try and declare war on someone or do a few other little things, if your party is not the one currently in power, they can say no, potentially. There's like a vote that happens. Now, some people might be like, oh, that's a little bit frustrating. And yeah, it's because of the older interface, it's a little clunky. But that doesn't make it a bad thing. It's an interesting thing because it gives you another personal level, which I enjoy the narrative aspect. I enjoy the personal level of things. And I think it's cool, especially, you know, in these 4X games, you get to parts where you're sort of waiting. And this is something we talked a lot about with Stellaris, where there is a period of time where you can't do anything except end turns, research, and accrue currency. That's it. Not a whole lot you can really do. That said, this gives you something to do in the meantime. You know, it makes you worry about your government, you know, go around micromanage your colonies just a tiny bit, you know. Oh, is my approval enough in each of these places? Because I really want my approval to be good so that my party's in power. Because right now, approval, or morale, if you will, just gives you a little bit of bonuses. Now, you get negatives if it's low, and that's okay. Like, it's okay. It's like in Civilization 5, for example. I don't care if my happiness tanks most of the time until it tanks to a certain point. Same thing Beyond Earth, blah, blah. But here it's like, well, 59% approval is not too bad. Now, I have a couple penalties here and there, maybe. Probably my capital is a higher approval, I would imagine. Yeah, 90% here, so... Oh, pardon me. So it's doing well. But... same time, I might lose a little bit of seats. So it just gives you a whole nother thing to juggle, and I like that. You know, you don't have to worry about it ever, but I like the fact that you can worry about it. Where's the other? I think. No. What is this? Oh, no, that's not what I want. I want the... Sorry, guys. There's... here we go. So this is something I also haven't noticed in Gal Civ 3. And it might be there and we just haven't found it yet. But the taxes. A lot of these games have the ability to adjust your tax. Now, reducing tax is going to, of course, reduce your revenue, but it's also going to increase approval. In some games, like Star Drive, we did that one, it directly affects your production and research. That's okay. That's sort of how it was done in Sword of the Stars, except Sword of the Stars did it really stupid. Taxation for days, that's what I'm talking about, Acceleron. Sword of the Stars probably has the worst implementation of tax versus research I've ever seen in any game ever. It's really dumb. I can explain that real quick. Why not? Because this is just a fun video. We're waiting on Zelphus to show up, and we'll play some Off-World Trading Company for a little bit, and then I'll end the night with Gal Civ 3. But in oh, pardon me, my voice is going. In Gal Civ 3, fuck me. In Sword of the Stars, what happens is your well, let me pull it up actually. It'll be a little bit easier to show you guys. It is a very odd system that I don't agree with. We're not going to talk about Sword of the Stars 2. That's a whole nother can of worms. Hey, Kerberos logo, how are you? Now, you guys are going to have a black screen right now, because I can't do anything about that, I'm sorry. Just got to change all my settings. Get it down to a windowed. Apparently the game can only be windowed in 1024. Well, that's really weird. But anyway, I'll find a way around that before we actually play Sword of Stars on stream. Which I will, because I think it's a great game. This is a very terribly done taxation thing. Oh shit, I should have picked a race. As long as I don't get the Zool, we'll be okay. Okay, Tark is fine. So the thing is, here, this is your big thing, right? Your budget. So you have savings and research. Already you're like, wait a minute. Savings and research. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's a slider. So the thing is, you can slide this over in the green. The closer the green it is, the more money you're putting in the savings. The further on the right it is, the more money you're putting on research. That makes sense. Sort of. It doesn't really, because you're like, why savings and research? Why not production and research? Why not taxation and research? Like, it's just an odd thing. But anyway, how it works is this, right? So we got 50,000 bucks right now. If I keep it on 50-50, next turn, our planetary income is 246,992. All right. So our treasury will change by this number. However, this hasn't updated actually. It's a bit frustrating. But the thing is, if I put it on 50-50, half of my income is going to go into research points, and half of my income is going to go into my actual, like, treasury. And so let's put it in the middle, hit enter, and watch what happens. We're not going to worry about the research right away. Okay. So we got half of that. Like, yeah. I'm not 100% sure why. Oh, because we don't have any research going. Hang on, sorry. Let's just queue up one. That's fine. Yeah. Alright, sorry about that, guys. That makes sense. So you can see here. So, right now, 125 of our treasury. Start again. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Planetary income is 247. Half of that is going to go to research. Half is going to go into our savings. So our treasury will increase by 125. Alright, kind of makes sense. It's just so weird to me that you're basically choosing to get money instead of research. However, there's a catch to it. Alright. Here's the catch. Yeah, the catch is interest. That's right. You receive 1% interest in this game. So because of that, for whatever reason they did that, if you spend the first 10 turns not putting any money into research, we're just going to keep doing that. Your money's going to just keep going up and keep going up and keep going up. And you'll be like, yeah, but you're going to be behind in research. And it's like, well, yes, I'll be behind in research. But the thing is, at the end of these 10 turns, I'm now making a crapload in just interest. You know? It's ridiculous to me. The thing rewards you for putting as little in the research as possible, because the less you put in research, the more you end up putting in research because of how interest works. It blows my mind, and because of that, I find Sword of Stars a bit easy. I don't know if I feel like that wasn't intentional, but I've played a lot of this in multiplayer, as opposed to the single player back in the day in high school. And people always be like, "Well, how are you beating me? I don't understand, man. Like, what's It's because of this. It's because this is a terrible, terrible idea." Anyway, I apologize for a little bit of a rant. Great game, just completely stupid slider. That anyway, at least it's not Sword of the Stars 3. Oh no, or 2. Sorry, Sword of Stars 2 is just absolutely terrible. Unfortunately, because I like Sword of Stars so much, I pre-ordered Sword of Stars 2. And you know a game's bad when throughout the release, like it gets pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and then eventually gets released, and the whole time you're getting emails going, "We're sorry, have this new DLC on us. We're sorry, have this on us. We're sorry," and you're like, "Oh, good God!" And it's now an unplayable mess. But anyway, not the worst thing I pre-ordered. I think that was the last game I pre-ordered though. It was either that or it was Project Zomboid. I kind of pre-ordered that. I was really excited. I played the beta, or the alpha, sorry. Played the alpha for it. I really liked it. And then all of a sudden they decided that they didn't want to work on the game anymore, and they were going to completely change the graphics to a really cheap, stupid looking graphic. And I'm like, oh, so you mean the whole reason why I liked it in the first place is gone? And it's never going to be anything? That's cool. Yeah. Just, I feel like it should be illegal to just cut and run, but of course it isn't. You know what I mean? There's no way of policing this. Much in the same way that Kickstarter is a terrible thing to do, because nothing's stopping them. Never. Sorry about that. I am loading Gal Civ 3, but OBS hasn't realized that yet. Also, I apologize. I've been sick and been doing some crazy work, so voice is shot to shit and I'm dehydrated. So I'm going to try not to sound awful and a little bit like phlegmy and gross and stuff, but if I can't help it, I mean, bear with me, guys. I'm really sorry about that. You know, obviously there's the whole, like, you know, I don't have to be sorry, but I do, because that's not nice, you know what I mean? Like, I certainly wouldn't want to listen to it. Alright, there we go. Thanks, Gal Civ 3. OBS pull you up yet? Hasn't pulled you up yet. Alright. Let's try now. Perfect. It's black. That's right, Gaming Star 2000. Good eyesight there. Unfortunately, we were just waiting for OBS to stop sounding sick, you fuck. Thanks, Rudy. I feel better already. Did this audio get, like, louder since we played it last? I don't know which one of these affects the menu. Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, because in-game the music's very quiet. Just the menu's quite loud. That's fine. Oh, sorry. An unapologetic Canadian. That's like a healthy American. No, I'm quite apologetic, actually. I'm always saying sorry at work, even if I don't do anything. You know what I mean? Like someone will like walk in front of me, I'm like sorry, or I don't know. I just say it all the time, and then Allison's like, why do you say sorry so much? Everyone always makes fun of me for it. It's lighthearted fun though. And I was like, oh, because I've a very self-deprecating sense of humor at times, or depreciating, I suppose. And I was like, it's because I've got low self-esteem. She didn't get the joke. She just kind of looked at me, and I was like, oh, well, it's funny, but you know what I mean. Not everyone gets that. So we're going to create a new race here. I want to play as a Snathy, but then I was like, what if we customize a race, you know what I mean? I'm not sure we can do the -3 diplomacy. I feel like that's a bit much. Even lowering it to -1, we could probably make a comeback. But last night made me realize my dream for Gal Civ. It's not the blood and glory and conquest that I normally go for. It's not the mass amounts of slavery, although maybe that'll happen, that we try to accomplish in Stellaris. It's tourism. It's opening our very own Wally World. Well, not quite Wally World. It's going to be Squirrel World anyway. I think that would be just a hilarious, conquering the world with the evilest race in the galaxy by opening theme parks and encouraging tourism and spreading your glorious influence across the galaxy. So we're going to do that. You can customize... Oh, hello. You can customize this by taking the default videos for the... I mean, we can have our squirrel bastard here. I guess we can see what the other pictures are. Lots of dark yore there. These look just like the minor races, really. That guy's hilarious. Oh my sweet lord. When do we find this guy? Because he's going to be my best friend. This is actually really disgusting. And holy hell. And that's it. I mean, that's pretty cool, but... This is why we don't have the diplomacy penalty anymore. The Snathy are still incredibly evil. They just found a leader that has a bit of a snaggle tooth and doesn't look insanely like a bastard. You know what I mean? So people trust him a little more. I think that's our that's our trick there. So we can get one of the videos as background. Probably just do the Snathy one. Seems fine to me. Might be funny to have the Yor just standing behind us, but not gonna do that. I wonder if there's any nice pictures we could use. Again, you can create your own. You can upload your own videos or pictures. Nah, I'll probably stay away from all these. That's beautiful. Is there a portrait for him, or do I have to? Oh, hell yes. Just straight. Does that guy have like? Doesn't it kind of look like he's got like 2 eyes and he's gonna have like a mouth, where his like stomach is? I don't know. Oh yes, here we go, guys. Leader name. Of course, we are Conquer. Eh? I think that's pretty bad. Do we do it like this, like Conquer? Is that the better way to do it, or do we do like Conquer? I think this is a little funnier. It's also French. A leader description. Let's see. The snaggle-toothed child of a genetic experiment gone wrong. Beautiful. Description, PJ Salt. Alright. Which is the first way? So who is your race? We are the Snathy. Of course. Maybe we're not the Snathy. Well, we are, though. But maybe we're the Snagglies? Because we have the Snaggletooth? I don't know. Maybe that's too bad. Is that racist? Maybe we've just been inadvertently racist. I'm just kidding, guys. So we can use any of... Why does this look like strong bad to me? Am I wrong? I don't know, I kind of think that's strong bad. Not sure if intentional or unintentional, but it's pretty cool. Start. What the fuck? Why does Canada have a logo? Oh, okay, that's cute. So we got. Hang on, let's see if I can do them all. Obviously, America, Canada. I want to say that is Switzerland. Sorry, no, Switzerland. I'm picturing it. Picturing it. What is? I'll come back to that, but I know what this is. Strong bag conquers space. Yeah, right. That's also, I guess, America, but more like colonial America. So you got France here. I mean, these are kind of like, oh, that's Sweden right there for sure. Germany, Switzerland, Italy. This one I'm not so sure. But oh, what are you? The ring of stars. Oh, that seems so familiar. Oh, I should know it from playing so much Europa and Crusader Kings and stuff. Well, maybe not Crusader Kings, but from. That's not coming to me. Either way. Oh, there's our actual Snathy. Maybe we do Space Candy. Finland? Oh, yes, of course. Is this, It seems so familiar. It's European. Part of me wants to say it's Greece, actually, for some really weird reason, but I don't think it is, because Greece is yellow and... Oh, no, it's blue and white. Okay. Hang on. Circle of Stars, blue flag. Oh, just the European Union. Oh, there you go. Well. This is for Europe in general. Weird. Maybe we do Canada. I feel like we shouldn't do Canada, though. But maybe we do. There you go. The star system. We're going to use the Snathy system, which was Snathos. It was pretty good. Pretty good planet. The call sign. Well, HMCS would be Her Majesty's Canadian Service. Netherlands, not France. Oh yeah, well I guess France would be turned, right? Yeah, because France would be blue, white, red. Sorry, as a Canadian I think France when I see those three colors, but you're absolutely right, yeah. The SSS, I don't know. You guys think of a call sign. Oh, our short name will of course be the Snags. Now we get to the good stuff. Oh, homeworld name, Homeworld. Of course, Wally World. Well, no, it's supposed to be Snaggly World. Norway doesn't get one? Yeah, who needs them? Paradox has done enough for Sweden and Norway. Clunts! Oh, well, that's true. We could be the Clunts. Oh, Cluntsville for the homeworld name. Call sign. Alright, I'm kind of down with that. Welcome to Cluntsville, everyone. To anyone that doesn't know, it's an inside joke from us doing Open Transport Tycoon Deluxe. It's a very funny thing. What is this race's slogan? Popcorn is... Hang on. Oh, I can't do dollar signs. Oh, I can. For the bag and... Beautiful. Description of this race in more detail. An alien species of unknown history and makeup. No one knows who they are or where they come from. But it's wrong. Absolutely. Absolutely wrong. This is rubbish. Describe the strengths and weaknesses of this race. The species has many qualities, some of them no doubt good or bad. That's perfect. That's a very good description. Let's see. This is a good way to start it. Beautiful. Let's see here. Strengths and weaknesses. Let's see. Cute. Obviously, that's a plus. What else would be a plus? Good at making money. And negatives, of course, evil. Yeah. Faction description. Yeah, we already did that. Traits and abilities. This is the tough part, right? Now, as the other Snathy, we did have Fragile -2, so I'm going to take that. Minus 30% ship HP is pretty rough, but it's one of those things. I don't mind it so much. We'll work around it. And now the thing is, you can't outproduce the AI. Well, you can outproduce the AI, but you can't outblob the AI because they don't pay maintenance cost. So, this isn't exactly an easy thing to overcome, whereas something like dense might be. The thing is actually mass is a blessing and a curse. They don't tell you this, right? Because, well, they say the mass, and you think, oh, more capacity. Yes, excellent. I can put more things on a ship. Heavier ships means they can't travel as far. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Might be worth investing in life support modules at some point. The regular Snathy have this. I also have Productive 2. They have Handy 2. Which is actually great because maintenance is killer in this game. And they have Likeable -2. What else? They have something in here. No, not soldiering. Strategic repair. They have that at number 2, and they have Militant 1. Okay, so this is what the regular Snathy have. I'm putting this right now so we can look at it, and we can slightly modify the race. The maintenance is very good. Capacity, I mean, I can't argue with that, especially if we're going to be taking the HP penalty. Production is always good. Clever might be nice for the research. When playing the influence game, research is going to be a big help, especially so you can rush up for the tourism tech. Let's see, economical. That would be good. Gross income plus 20%. Popular, more tourism income. Trade route value. Let's try and slip economical in there. That's probably going to be better overall than popular is. Although I'd like to take popular at some point. Let's take our militant down, put popular 1. I'm not going to worry about strategic repair here. That'll be our economical. And I would like to get rid of unlikable. So I need to take another penalty. Accuracy? No thanks. Ships are easier to hit? Yeah. Ship range? No. Soldiering? Ugh, it's really hard to raise your soldiering up, actually. Maybe we get less value from trade. I don't think that's a terrible idea. Influence growth would be great too, as that's how we're going to actually win the game. Alright, let's lower our trade value. Take this off. And then lower something. What? I'm not sure yet. But I would definitely like to get influence growth up. So that's going to help me a ton. Yeah, maybe we just go with this. I mean, I could probably take the points out of dense, but I think we'll be okay doing it this way. So 2 abilities here. Scavengers, yep, we're going to take that. That is the snathy way. So we have 1, really. Planet's going to adjust planetary production manually. Research from precursor artifacts. Shipyard production decays at half. That's quite nice, actually. First improvement on all new colonies is free. That's extremely powerful. Colonies are harder to culture flip. 50% more colony. That's okay. Paranoid free drones defend planets, shipyards, and star bases. That's pretty good. Ideology point each time you invade a planet. Probably not going to be happening because we're playing a good guy. Trade routes give approval bonuses to both parties. Interesting. 2 extra trade routes. We're not synthetic, we're not intuitive. This is what the snaffy have normally. Invasions never cost credits. We're hopefully not going to be wealthy. Starts with tourism enabled and with extra credits. Yes. As it. This is a short-term game, obviously. Short-term gain. Sorry about that, guys. Starts with extra tourism. Starts with tourism enabled, so we have the tourism technology unlocked by default. Or maybe we don't have it unlocked, we just have the tourism from it unlocked and extra credit. So we'll hopefully be able to rush pretty good with that. Of course, we are the snaffy. Map theme, yeah, snaffy, ship colors. Well, maybe we don't take the snaffy paint scheme. I mean, it looks nice. I like it, so that'll be okay. Personality, we want the snaffy. Primarily, we're going to go for benevolent. This doesn't actually affect us in game, it's only if they're being controlled by the AI. So it would be something along these lines. Yeah. And we would be expansionist, greedy, opportunistic. And scientific. Oh, cultural. Maybe not scientific. Well, we are. But again, that's just how the AI would play this race. Beautiful. I think we're good, guys. At this point, though, are we squirrels or are we beavers or something in between? Like a little bit of both. Now, we now have our race. Poor traders, though. That's sad, but trading you normally do for the diplomacy bonus of it anyway. So, Galaxy, medium loose clusters. I'm totally okay with that. I mean, it's tempting to go for a larger galaxy, actually. Maybe we try for huge. It would take me a long time to beat a huge game. Let's do large, shall we? Just make it a little bit larger next time, last time. Which was okay, but... Okay, victory conditions, yep, all that stuff is good. And we're not going to put the snaffy in the game because we're the frickin' snaffy. Although I think it would be funny to bump up against the snaffy mid-game and be like, oh hey, how are you? So let's get this loading. I think this Alphys is good now. So we will probably be jumping in the off-world, doing a little bit of that while he's still awake. And then we'll have our Gal Civ 3 run ready with the Snaggly for later tonight. We'll see, though. I might get started. Because he's being a slow little shit. Come on, map, you can do it. I believe in you. That's why I have, not sure a good way to say this here. I have a strong feeling, perhaps, maybe, that there's another patch coming out for Stellaris soon to fix some even more things. So that might be the time, boys. It might be we go Stellaris after Gal Civ 3, and then probably hit up Master of Orion 2, Sword of the Stars, Alpha Centauri, somewhere in there. I think that sounds good. And will that be the end of the journey? I'm not sure. Endless Space is a pretty good game. Might be tempting to hit up that one. It's not like perfect, but it's good. It's worth talking about what they did right and what they did wrong, which is the whole point of this. A lot of people have mentioned Star Ruler 2 to me. I've never played Star Ruler 2. So I wouldn't mind, if I can find it, like maybe a little cheap or something, playing it and we can discuss as a community, you know, how we feel it does compared to the other games we've looked at so far. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to offer like that strategic and sort of knowledgeable gameplay that I can sometimes provide. You know what I mean? Depending on the game. I normally enjoy doing that. But, you know. Oh, pardon me, guys. I shouldn't be tired. It's only 2 a.m. But here I am. Also, building map. Getting a little scared. Sometimes I get scared when games don't load right away. Sometimes I panic. That's right, Rudy. It's only 2 a.m. Whatever. Building map, building map, building map. They need some duct tape. Reticulating splines is probably my favorite. That's from Worms, I believe. Although I think they used it in The Sims as well, but I'm pretty sure it was from Worms. It was just a funny little thing. What happened to Worms, eh? Used to be like... I still think Worms World Party is a really good game, but it was just sad watching it go downhill. The problem with like party games though, right, is what do you do? You know? Like what do you do after you've made like the best one? Like you just add more, you update the graphics. Party games are such an odd thing because in theory, party games never run out of gameplay and replayability. Sort of an odd thing to turn into a series, you know what I mean? I think they're very good as a one-off. The exceptions being something like You Don't Know Jack. I mean, that, in my opinion, has a lot of use as a series because, like, you know, it's like a quiz game. So you're just giving more questions and stuff like that. But I think she froze, everybody. Well, it doesn't say she froze, but I get the feeling. Do you know what I mean? Just a little tingling in my bones. I think I'm gonna Control-Delete it, and we'll see what happens here. Everyone, get your fingers over the panic button. Alternatively, get your fingers over the purge button. Whichever makes you feel more comfortable. Yeah, that's what I mean, Origami. Like, it's kind of hard. Like Mario Party, for example. In my opinion, Mario Party 2 and then Mario Party 3, they're sort of tied for best. 2's really good. 3 had some cool new things, but ultimately I think 2 had the better minigames. But that's sort of the problem, right? Is like they kept making more and more and more Mario Parties, and they kept trying to be unique because it's Nintendo. And Nintendo feels like, oh, if I make a new game, I have to make it fresh. Except they don't, right? Because they just copy the same games over and over. But beside the point. So every new game had like different mini games, but like, it's okay. Take the ones that work. Take some of the old boards. Just make a few new boards. Whatever, you know. Update the graphics. That's fine. You know, you don't have to keep making new crappy mini games. But they did. Now it's so hard. I remember like 3 years ago or something. Wow, yeah, it's like 2.5 or something when we first moved in this apartment. Trying to play some Mario Party with Kaylin for the first time. She'd never played it before. I was like, man, Mario Party's so good. Like, I mean, it's not the best game ever, but it's a lot of fun, right? And we fired up, I think it was Mario Party 7 or whatever, one of the ones on the Wii. And, yeah, it's absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I was like, oh, well, if I ever get a copy of Mario Party 3 working, we'll do that. Sorry, black screen guys, not my fault. Gal Civ is not being my friend right now. It's like, oh, come play Off-World with me. And I'm like, no. I don't feel like it. Oh, now it wants to update? What does Acceleron? Stellaris? Or Gal Civ? Or... Ha! Windows 10, there you go. I'm so sorry, though. It's one of those things, like, I laugh, but I'm sorry. If my computer ever tried the auto-update, I would actually burn down Microsoft's headquarters. Gotta be said. What ruins more friendships, Mario Party, Mario Kart, Blue Shells, or Monopoly? Let me put it this way. If someone invited me over and brought out Monopoly, I wouldn't be their friend. Well, there you go. You know, Monopoly is arguably the worst game. If you're talking about frustrating, however, Mario Kart Blue Shells ruined a lot of friendships. That said, there is a little party... Oh, shit, hang on. No, it's not Mario Party. I have a much worse party game. 100% orange juice is actually really, really bad for that. Hang on, guys. I apologize. It's just not wanting to load up at the Momo. So we're going to just throw a pretty little graphic on your screen so you don't freak out. Just remember, keep calm and say purge. Let me walk over to my shelf here. See if I can find the one I'm talking about. Yeah, here. Hang on. It's called Dokapon Kingdom. I don't know if anyone knows what that is but me, but that is the party game that will make you want to chop the balls off of everyone in the room. It is really brutal. It's just like random luck, the game. But also random luck, but sometimes you have the chance to screw somebody over for absolutely no reason. Which is really all you need in a game. Risk? Yeah, I won't play Risk actually, Dr. Acceleron. I own a copy of it. I own a copy of, still in the shrink wrap, Risk Doctor Who or something like that. Invasion of the Daleks, maybe. My mom got it for my birthday one year because she's like, "Oh, you like the board games? You have a collection there. Here, have the Risk." And it's like, "Oh, sweet mother of God, not like this." I absolutely hate Risk. I can't stand it. Is it the worst game ever? No, I mean, there's merits to Risk. The problem is any quote unquote, no quotes, before quote, after quote, etc., etc., any game that has luck as the major component, sweet lord, like you're not getting out of being angry at that one. It's just not happening. Alright, let's see if we can get this to load up. But yeah, I just 40K for example, you know, or miniature gaming in general.
wargaming, some people call it. But, you know, I play 40K sometimes on the internet. That's it. I own a lot of models. I like to assemble and paint them, but I don't really like to play the game because it is just a luck fest. There's a little more to it than that, but end of the day, you get screwed over by rolling a lot of ones, and that can be frustrating. I like games where you can mitigate risk, and I like games where risk isn't chance, if you will. Oh, wow, this guy. Where, your percent values are optional. You know, if you give me a game where Dota 2, here's a very good example. Dota 2, or your League of Legends, whatever, but, your MOBAs. I'm going to use Dota 2 as an example, as it's a game I feel like I'm very proficient at, and I like playing, and I tend to do extremely well. In a game like that, I enjoy the option of taking crits. You know? That's sort of a push your luck gamble aspect that you've enforced on yourself. You don't have to, but I am, type of deal. Sometimes it's a little frustrating to play against. You play against a Phantom Assassin. She has a, I believe, 15 or 25, I think, % chance to crit for just stupid amounts of damage. And sometimes it's like, oh, what the heck? She hit like 3 times in a row and I died. Well, it happens. But the thing is, playing that Phantom Assassin, you're like, well, this is my thing. You know what I mean? There's a lot of skill to this hero that isn't that, but that is just that sort of one-armed bandit mentality. You know what I mean? Just like, no whammies type of deal. I like that, but I don't like it when that's the main gameplay. I find that just extremely frustrating. I also really enjoy, another weird thing too, sorry I ramble guys, but I love talking with you. I love hearing your stuff, and that's why I like to stream as opposed to just make videos for YouTube. But I enjoy card games a lot, and you'll have people go like, oh, but how can you like card games and your Magic the Gathering and stuff if you don't like luck? Well, okay, yeah, I hear what you're saying. However, I don't play a lot of Magic, but I do play, my favorite, I'll say it again and again, is Android Netrunner, or the Lord of the Rings card game, but Android Netrunner is really, really good. But the thing is, in a lot of these games, you have the option to go for hand management, for deck management, and not a lot of people do that, but that is a playstyle I really enjoy. I like going, alright, so it's random, but I kind of want to, have a say in how random it is. I enjoy that. I enjoy sort of building up the strategy and playing the deck. Yeah, I really like Netrunner. Is it perfect? No, but it's really, really good. And again, I'm a narrative gamer. It's very thematic. You play Netrunner and you feel like you're outrunning nets, so can't argue with that. We have an artifact here. I'm going to queue up a research before I grab it because, well, actually, you know what? Alternate win conditions? Agreed. They actually have that in Netrunner. I'm not sure if you follow that anymore, but there's quite a few different ways to win, depending on what you're doing. The Star Wars, the card game by Fantasy Flight, has some really interesting win conditions. It's actually very smartly designed as well. Sorry. But we're going to save here as the Snaggly, as, I'm not sure I spelled that right, but that's okay. As I feel like, if I started playing the first 2 turns, because Zelphus is online right now, there would be people, maybe a week from now, maybe 10 years from now, when somebody realizes I have a YouTube channel, going, where the frick? Start watching your thing, and you start on turn 2 or 3. It's like, yeah, I understand, I certainly wouldn't ask someone to watch all of this. Watch the little part where I make the race if you're curious, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. Nice seeing you again, Acceleron. Always a pleasure to chat with you, man. Seem like a cool guy. I don't know why I saved again. I'm a compulsive saver, except when I'm not. So, 100% of the time, I forget to do it 90% of the time. But when I do it often. So, Anyway, I'll see you in 5 minutes, guys. We're going to do some off-world with Zelphis in before he gets really, really upset. Happens. And, yeah, then we'll end the night with some Gal Civ, relax, chat, and do all that kind of cool stuff. Take it easy.